Now we're here. Greetings and welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man Probably Presents. You know what it is. Comic book talk with friends on Monday. Every Monday we do this. So we share these conversations, have these conversations with you guys that are out there watching the show. Thank you for being here. It's going to be a good one tonight, like it is each and every week. Where we highlight everything that is going on in the comic sphere. And we try to keep it within that realm and bring you as much information as possible because it is entertaining and we just like to talk about it. So welcome and thank you for being here. Can't do it without the rest of the crew. Individuals that are just as passionate as I am about this thing here. What's going on? How you guys doing tonight, man?
Merry Christmas week, fellas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas week.
For those who celebrate, Merry Christmas week.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa for everybody out there who celebrate again.
Happy Festivus.
Exactly. Festivus. Exactly. Happy Festivus as always, man. Definitely. So
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa, happy everything. Like right now, man, it's all about the celebration and families and everything. So this is what we're actually doing and so glad to be a part of it. Just wanted to give a thanks to everybody who participated in the Christmas initiative. It went off without a hitch. Everything was good. Again, we're getting past the holiday. I hate to say this, but I'm like, damn, now I can get back to the regular scheduled program because it has been hard the last couple of months. It has been hard out here for a pimp, but it's all going for a different cause. It's such a great, incredible cause. So again, just want to put this up here. Thank you, everybody who's been a part of the Christmas initiative. It's rounding out. We have ended it, and we ended it with a bang, and you guys have been the best. So I thank you so much for all that you've actually done and all that you've contributed. It's been nothing but a blessing, and I'm pretty sure everybody will, and the thing is, the check has been cut, it's been provided, they're getting their money, and those kids will have the toys. I'm so excited about it, man.
That's awesome.
So definitely excited about it. Thank you so much, and everybody being out there. Jedi Pimp, what's going on with you, man? How's your weekend been, bro?
It's been good, man. I had a good weekend. It's relaxed. Chill with the family, hit the beach. Put up more stuff on my tree. Did more stuff to the house with the lights, and just enjoyed the weekend, fam. That's it, bro.
Hold on, you put up
figs,
your tree.
so just chilled out.
When'd you put your tree up?
No, I did it Thanksgiving, but we put more. I got more ornaments. I went crazy with the comic book ornaments this year.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do too.
I found a bunch of them at Walmart. I had like the Lolo for like a bunch of. I got like the Mandalorian. I got Black Panther, Batman, Doctor Strange. I got a bunch of them from there, man, for a good price.
See, I wanted
my tree's like a comic book.
That's why we kept it in the realm. We kept it in the realm of because we're doing just the Nightmare Before Christmas this year, so we kept it within that theme to simplify it. So everything's been black. We got an all black tree, all black presents, patterns and stuff like that. So we did everything that way this year, man. So we kept it like really gloomy, but
I got the train in the village.
Yeah. So it's dope, man. So anyway, man, thank you for being here. Vinny, what's going on with you, brother?
Not much, man. Got winter break going on. I had family up from North Kakalaki this week, and we did a birthday for her son had my cousin up in town. We did birthday for her son up in Lancaster at Going Bananas.
That was deep, bro.
Man, that was fun as hell. And then we just like partied all weekend, had dinners, had family gatherings and stuff. And then tradition here at the crib is we usually have like a pre-Christmas day where we're get all the kids over and we do Christmas cookies and watch Christmas movies all day, and like we'll watch Home Alone and Elf and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And other than that, just been going crazy, decorating the tree and getting new ornaments. Like at this point, like I call it the Geekmas tree now, because now it's like at this point it's it's barely any regular ass ornaments. Now it's just like all Hallmark, like all Hallmark geek ornaments, and it's not just like comic books. It's everything from like Back to the Future to Lord of the Rings to National Lampoons and He-Man and just everything. So the tree is just it's like there's dioramas on the tree. It's insane, but it's a lot of fun just geeking out the house and just having a lot of good memories and laughs with the family. And that's always why Christmas is so important to me, because it gives me an excuse to hang out with the family more than we usually get to, because everybody's always so busy. My family's so big and everybody's getting older and busier, and I love the holidays because it gives everybody a good excuse to form like Voltron, you know what I mean? So but other than that, just and shopping, like you said, just the relentless shopping and just big family.
Yeah,
So it's a
bro.
lot. It's a lot. Like, do I got this for them? That's gonna be here in time. That's delayed shipping. Would I be here in time?
Dude.
Okay, all right. So it's a lot of that, but I love it though. Oh.
Yeah, man.
The
So
shopping
definitely
get you, boy.
Yeah,
shopping to whoop your ass, but I mean, especially like the thing is, it's as much as I don't like it, I just like the atmosphere, I like the festivities and just being out there in the hustle and bustle. And the thing is the dope part about it is because the kids, they want certain things that's unique to them, so it's not hard to find.
That's what
go early in the morning, bro. That's what I've been
love
doing
about it though, because when I was like a kid, like part of that magic, it didn't come from nowhere. It came from Santa and parents and stuff like that going out of the way to try to make a special Christmas for us when we were kids, and I like being able to do that for the kids now. So finding out something that they either they really didn't think they would get or be able to find, or something that they even know that they would really want. That part is just so much fun. Just making other people happy now is now like that's the magic.
I
for
love
me.
it, bro.
Making making other kids happy, and even if it's something that that's what it's all about, man.
Exactly, bro. That's definitely what it's all about, is just to kind of make sure that they can enjoy it.
Absolutely.
It's them now. It's not us. It's just basically them now.
It's just from makes it happy to make them happy now.
Yep. And now you're just along for the ride. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, is like when my daughter, she's like, yo, Dad, what do you want? And I'm like, I want nothing. I want absolutely nothing. You know what I say? Look, what I want you to do is get me my favorite pecan swirls. You can go to Giants around the corner, grab me a whole bunch of pecan swirls, put it in the bag because I love them, and that's it. That's cost you $1.99. If you really want to give me something, get me something like that. That'd basically help me. Everything else I don't expect from you, because like I said, it's just I want to see them have fun. Plus she's 23. But I'm so proud of her. It's always they're always going to be your kids, man. It's like Dad, my daughter over in Australia sent money over there for her mom to get her a keyboard, so she's happy about that. So definitely, man, it's all about the kiddos, bro. It's never about us, man.
But isn't it cool when they ask you what you want? I love that.
It is. It's definitely cool. So, but see, the thing is, she asked me what I wanted for my birthday. And I said, all right, you know what I want? A pair of all black suede Pumas. Just go ahead and give me those. And she got them for me.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I was just playing, but yeah, you know what I mean? All black, and give me those. And she did it. It's like, all right, cool. But I mean, it does feel
different
good
when they can actually afford presents too, because I remember you used to ask our parents for presents, and maybe like, we just want good behavior, and we used to always be that's sold out. That's sold
no
out.
problem. I got that.
They ain't got no good behavior. We come up with something else I could buy.
Yeah. Yes. Man, all in the game. I got a 23-year-old daughter, man. Definitely. I am old. Yep. I'm almost reaching a milestone, like straight up half a century in a year. 2023 is my century. I'm going to celebrate in Hawaii this year. So definitely I can't wait.
That's
gonna be a good year. Leading in. That's so dope. But yeah, man, Christmas. Everybody out there, I hope you guys are celebrating Christmas. And this is, it's different for us because we get ourselves gifts every day. Like literally, if we want to buy something, we can just basically buy it. I got, my hydrocopter showed up. Like that's what I'm saying. A room full of gifts, everything that basically shows up. My Wonder Woman, that statue's incredible. You saw anything?
Yeah, you got it. It finally came in.
Oh, you didn't see
it? Turn the camera around.
Hold on.
It's in there.
Hold on, I got you.
Is it out the box, bro? Is it out the box?
Hold on, I got you.
I'm about to say, because you know how you do.
See, that's what's different about being an adult. It's hard to tell people what you want for Christmas when you're an adult. You buy what you want all year.
Buy what you want all year long, bro.
Yep.
That's the thing. Yo,
Dirty Diana looking clean,
bro. This is
that is fire,
bro. Hold on, let me solo it real quick. Let me solo it for the people out there watching, man, because y'all need to see this piece. This is
does it light up? Does it lasso light up at all?
The lasso doesn't light up, but it's just a simple fact of how
that is dope,
bro. Like it is probably one of the dopest statues that I have in my collection, bro. The thing is, you got a wire, and it comes with two bodies, two head sculpts. One is more comic accurate. It comes with the shield, it comes with the sword. The last of truth is in the base isn't, bro. The base is it's an attraction of its own. Like, look at that.
It's like a mountain. Oh, like Athens. Okay. That's fire.
Yeah, look at that, bro. Like, so definitely.
Oh my God.
She's incredible. She's definitely an
What a
incredible.
beautiful piece.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Like I love this piece, man. Like literally, it's everything. It's everything. They exceed
Yeah.
expectations when it comes to it, bro. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Good things come to those who wait.
Is that still for sale? Is that still for sale? They still got a
Sold
lot
out.
in the rest, right?
Sold out.
It's sold out.
Yep. Unless
I
you get it,
slipped on that.
you can possibly get it through Toys Wonderland. But that's it. I mean, you can get it through them.
Damn.
But yeah, it's bro, it's
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, she was well worth it, bro. A well worth it piece.
You gotta get a case for her by herself, man.
Well, I have her displayed pretty much by herself, bro.
On top of the detail.
Yeah. Oh, he said Lael replaced the Lorenz Talentino said replace the lasso with the LED wire for Diana if possible.
Yeah.
I might have to find one that's going to be decent enough.
Because they have the bendable ones, bro. They have the bendable ones that can go around her like that.
Yeah, I will. That's a good idea. If I find it, I definitely will. I will. I'll get. I can order it on Amazon though, but definitely, bro.
That's fire.
It's a beautiful piece, man. I love this thing, man. Love it so much. Yeah, man. And she's Diesel. She's Diesel like she should be, bro. Like, literally muscle definition, like powerful with strength, bro. I love it. So yep, but that's what I'm saying. Like I said, we get our pieces, we get our gifts all year round. I know people out there feel the same way. I hope you have a good Christmas, a good holiday. We got Renz Talentino out there, Tobar in the building, Keith, my Uncle Keith. We got All in the Game. We got Alvin J, Louis Labitz, always. Malika Mabane, thank you for being here. We got my baby girl who I was just talking about. Skyla is in the building. Such an amazing girl. She's so amazing, man. It's my baby. We have who else here? Benjamin E. Green. Who else we got? Ninja Squirrel. Amber is in here. Thank you for being here as always. Who else we got? Mikey Lito is in the building. Thank you for being here. TK592 is in the building. Thank you for being here. OG Mando is here as always. Two Ferns. Who else do we actually have in the building? Calvin Williams, my guy. Calvin is here. Thank you for being here, my bro. Ed Renewer is in here. Thank you so much for being here, man. Who else do we have out there? We got Superhero Displays is in the building. Thank you for being here, man. Always so good to have you here as always. Who else do we have with us? We got Dingleberry in the building. Thank you for being here, man, as always. Who else do we have? Quite a few, man. Like, thank you guys, everybody who's pouring in. If you're pouring in late, make sure when you come through, you hit that like button, subscribe. Kate Carter, always thank you for being here, brother. It's so good to have you, man.
Happy birthday to Tabor, man.
Yeah, happy birthday to my Uncle Keith all day, Uncle Keith. Everybody,
happy birthday.
It is his birthday. Happy birthday to you. It'll be a birthday celebration on Wednesday because he's going to be on Say What Wednesday with me. So I cannot wait for that. So Tobar, be ready, man, because we're going to have a celebration on Wednesday in your honor live. So yes, it's going to be a birthday celebration. Also tune in this Saturday. Me and Latoya T are doing we're doing a special episode of The Corner where she is going to rate her top 10 collectibles in my collection that she loves. She's going to rate.
Oh, snap.
In Saturday, I'm going to put that
That's
out.
a good one. That should be good.
Yeah, so she's going to rate her top 10. I'm going to let her do it. She's going to pick 10 figures in my collection that she loves and tell you the reason why she loves it. So definitely.
That should be good.
She'll probably show hers too because she loves the armorer. So she got the armor herself. Like she got her own. So,
she bought one. Yeah, snap to
it. She definitely bought one.
I told her. I'm surprised that's something she had to pick up.
Right? Yeah, bro.
That's what's up. She went and got the armor. Okay,
well, let me tell you how this shit happened though. I go to the door and there's a box outside that was delivered from.
She like, not this time.
No. She was at
that's
work,
mine.
right?
Okay.
So I see the box. So automatically, if I think it's mine. Right. I see it. It's a figure. I didn't expect her to do it.
I'm gonna grab it and open it.
Open that box and saw it. I was like, wait a minute, the armor? I was like, I already have one. And I was like, calling her up.
Have it.
I said, Toya, like, what's up with this? I have the armor. You're like, I already have it already. Like, what is this for? She's like, no, that's mine. Take it back upstairs. How you just gonna open my box? I took it back upstairs for her. Yeah, she gave me the 5th, but you know how it is. You know how
Bruh.
it is, yeah, bro.
They've been around you too long now. She's gonna be by the
You didn't even
bug.
get a
That's it.
chance
It's
to play
over.
it off and just take packing tape and just act
Listen,
like, oh,
she
that's
bought
how it
one.
came.
It's a wrap now.
She bought one.
It's
That's
a
all
wrap.
it takes, bro. One is
It's over now.
it's
Yep.
over now. Once you get one,
Yep.
and once you crack it open, she
She's
puts it
gonna
up.
buy a
It
bunch
is
of them
over.
now. It's a wrap.
August ain't meant to be. They pushed Luke back to like May, so.
Well, you know what? But the thing
You
is,
still don't have yours?
well, nah, it's the Mandalorian, the Mando Luke. That's been delayed.
Oh, get the other one, bro. Get the other one. It's the same thing, dog. It's just his hair's different.
Are you talking about the Jedi one? Jedi Luke from Jedi?
Yeah.
But that's not available on Sideshow anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like those are sold out.
Toy Wonderland either?
Nah, you can't. You can get them from like a.
What about the one with the Return of the Jedi with the Ewok one?
Nope, sold out.
Endor's going too?
Yeah.
I got all 3 of them, bro. I wasn't playing. So
yeah.
So damn, dog.
Still Garen gets here. It's all good.
Yeah. What she say, Scholar? My daughter said, "Yeah, tell him, Toya, pause off."
That's what's up.
Yeah, she's like, pause off. Stop playing with me. But anyway,
so
man,
it got a 1/6 scale.
Yeah,
I'm happy for her, bro.
But anyway, thank you guys for being here. But we're going to jump in. We're going to basically dive in. And first off, we always want to highlight every week. We highlight the artist of the week, artist who's basically been impactful. You see his work, you see her work. You know, we're going to there's going to some females out there we're going to be highlighting as well. So it's just going to be all around because I got some very important ones that I want to actually bring up too. But this guy, it goes without, any type of introduction. You know him. You know his work, not just his work, but his influence is strong, like literally and strong. Mm-hmm. So again, like if you haven't already, picked up his pieces, if you don't have his work with you, I don't know what else to tell you. We're talking about the infamous, the one and only Frank Miller himself. I mean, Vinny, I know this is your guy, so I'm gonna let you just do the majority of the talking, bro. Like you tell me how you really feel, bro.
So it was my pick this week, and there was a few I was thrown around, but we landed on Frank for obvious reasons. He is an icon in this industry. He has done just monumental work on on Daredevil and Batman and Sin City and so many different projects that he's influenced. It's like the Tree of Life in a way of like different people he's influenced, because where a lot of artists have, creators have influenced the way, visually comics look or visually, or, the way comics are written. He brought a darker sense, more adult theme to comics that hit in such a profound, impactful way that it kind of changed the scope of the industry in a way. And, majority of the impact has been, accepted as an amazing thing, but some people it's not their cup of tea. But he is big part of why so many superheroes are now more brooding, more dark, less kiddie, and he kind of gave us a changing of the guards, so to speak, where the way you looked at comics had kind of changed after him, as far as what comics like represented, what they were like, and he kind of gave comics a more mature thing. Batman was always, back in the days, he was like the 66 Batman show where it was goofy and silly and stuff like that. Neil Adams and Dennis O'Neil and a lot of other creators came and made him a little bit more serious, but Frank came along and made him like much more serious, much darker. Did the same thing with Daredevil, did the same thing with independent comics like Sin City, and just gave comics in general a mainstream acceptance to more adult themes. And when Dick Giordano talked to him about doing a Batman story, he had a problem with how, he was about to turn 30 and realized that like his whole life Batman's been, 30, 29 years old, never aged, over 60, years. Like there's never been an older version story of him. He's been pretty much the same forever. So he wanted to do a story where, set in the future, so it's kind of like, his last hurrah, his last case or whatever. And they went back and forth and threw around a lot of ideas. And what he came up with was forever with Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. That showed a Batman who had been retired, who had been trying to go, be a civilian, and a world that was increasingly getting more dangerous, and crime was just ramping up and ramping up. But as we see with like many stories, there was a bigger crackdown in the universe that this story is told as far as civilian, like, as far as vigilantes, it was outlawed. But Batman, does what Batman wants to do and decided to start fighting crime anyway. And you got to see what was so interesting about this wasn't just the tone, wasn't just the art, wasn't just the writing, but it was a lot of world building. Like the world of Gotham was so much different in this story. From, you had the mutants, and you had
the mutant gang. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you had you had the mutant gang that he had to stop, and when he stopped them, you seen, they became his soldiers and sons of Batman.
Yeah.
And you had so many side stories that were super impactful. Like you had Joker, who with a retired Batman just went catatonic and just shut down until Batman came back. And then all of a sudden he woke up and went right back to, Joker being a Joker. And and you had all these incredible elements.
Catwoman retired.
You had a new Catwoman. Yeah, Catwoman retired. Like they got old, they got fat. You got to see superheroes in a way that you only see in like fan fiction, like shit that you never would have thought you'd seen. And there wasn't too many Elseworlds or what if type stories in DC. Like Marvel did that shit, but DC hadn't really done too much of that. So it was really new and unique to see these characters in like different ways than they were used to being seen. Different ages and older and fatter and like retired. It was such a unique, like, Green Arrow with just one arm, like all these different, ideas that he threw around were so unique and conceptually brilliant. And it was a lot more violent than you had ever got to see too. Like Joker just absolutely rampaging, killing spree, and just no holds barred. And then you had you had the government decide, nah, like we said, no vigilantes. What are you doing, Batman? And when he couldn't be stopped, they sent Superman out. And that turned into one of the, if you were a kid and growing up in the 80s and 90s, you heard about the story where Batman and Superman fought each other, and Batman actually like did damage and or like got the best of Superman. And it was like, what? There's no way. And that story, that scene, that fight set off the most infamous comic book argument trope
of all time.
Kids have. Prep time. Like, what can Batman do with prep time? It started the lore, the allure of Batman and what he could accomplish if you gave him time to strategize. And you got to see all these different ways that you could see where, unlike Lex or somebody like that who come up with a devious plan to take down Superman, you had a hero doing that. And you got to see all these amazing ways that Batman came up with to fight Superman and actually get the best of him. And it was, and it created like just an incredible sequence of fights, and probably the most iconic trash talk of all time with, I don't want to butcher this, but I want you to remember, Clark, in all the years to come, in your private moments, I want you to remember my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one who beat you. Obviously, this movie, this scene affected and impacted, Superman versus Batman. They took pieces of that for that, but it also affected the way they did Batman Begins. It also affected the way they did Dark Knight. It affected so many Batman movies over the years that there's so many, like, there's so many different. It's like every movie took some part of this story or year one also from Frank Miller and put that into, twisted it into being their shit. But this story was just super iconic, super impactful. Frank Miller like just did so much for an industry and all like kicked off. I think this was like his big, coup de grace. I mean, he got a lot of notoriety from, the Daredevil stories, and rightly so, but this was different. This was so much more impactful. It was so much bigger scale. And there's been sequels that don't quite live up to the hype, but you can never take away what the Dark Knight Returns meant for virtually every comic book fan who ever picked up a comic book.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
I mean, Frank is his style definitely dark and brooding, but no matter how many times it's been trying to, even on film, how it's been tried to be translated, there was always a
Right.
missing element.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because it wasn't tried and it wasn't just tried and true. Frank Miller. Because again, studio execs get their hands on certain things, and they don't want you
And they
to.
change it.
They
Yeah.
want they have to kind of maneuver around it just because their take on it is, in which it's like you see both sides of the spectrum. Is that when you have individuals who grew up following Batman, so you see Batman the detective individual, even though he's started out with just a hokey sort of like character, becomes more of a detective. And then
Right.
you see like the brooding aspect of this particular character. A lot of people, even back then, when it transitioned and when Frank Miller made that transition, a lot of people didn't like it, bro. They didn't like it in the very beginning because they were like, that's not my Batman. That's not my Superman. But once the story was fleshed out and you got a chance to see it, it became the most iconic storyline, and just like the stories between both Batman, that was like the blueprint for everything that comes afterwards. So Frank Miller is the one who took the risk to say, okay, dare to be dark, dare to be different. And you don't have to basically follow my blueprint, but just experiment and just do something that's completely different instead of the same old tropes. You know what I mean? And then after that, you see, and Frank's a funny dude, bro. Like he's a funny
It also put
dude.
Batman on a different level because I
Yeah,
mean, obviously his villains were just mostly just gangsters and different
yeah,
gimmicks,
Yeah.
and this put
Yeah.
him where, because of this story, it made sense that he was in the Justice League, because
yeah,
if he knows how to beat Superman, he knows how to beat Starro or Mongo or whoever else the Justice League has to
Yeah.
fight that's way
yeah,
more powerful than him,
yeah,
because he could say, here's all the ways to beat him. Like, I can't, I might need your help to do it, but Superman hit here, Green Lantern, take out this, weakness. And then
yeah,
it showed that he had the strategy mindset to, with, if he had soldiers like the gods, the Justice League are, to, have his pawns, then put that to his use, then he'd be unstoppable. And it made sense for him to be a player in the whole DC universe instead of just in Gotham.
yeah.
Right.
Definitely, definitely. What's your take
Him.
on it, Jedi Pimp? What's going on with you, bro?
This came out in what, 80, I think 80, 86, right?
Yep.
They said
86.
that Frank Miller wrote this joint in pencil first before you give him a story, bro, like this. I mean, super influential throughout the whole comic world. I think that, as an influencer with his writing style, with the way the story came out, man, like I never believed in my wildest years as a kid, like
What happened?
I pulled a Jason. I don't know.
I don't know. It just stopped.
It was I thought Jason froze, and I was like, oh, Jason froze again. And then I seen my screen buffering, so I was like,
Yeah, I
oh
don't
shit, maybe
know.
it's me.
It's this computer, man.
Okay.
It could. I don't know, but I guess in the area too, like the internet is just kind of messing up. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, it kind of, There we
All
go.
good.
There we
my
go.
bad. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah.
worry about it, man. Don't worry about
But to me, man, like this thing started the whole beef with me about Superman could be Batman or Batman could be Superman. Like nobody even thought they would even be able to fight each other. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Superman would kill him. It was like, yo, if you give Batman enough time, he could get rid of you. He's a tacticianist. So I mean, give him time to think about something. He can stick with you in the fight, with anybody in the fight.
Yeah.
Darkseid, yeah, he almost got killed by Darkseid, but Darkseid had to respect him. I mean, there's no other guy with no powers, and this relies on his wits, his gadget, and his body, other than Batman. So
Frank, in a sense, he pushed the limits of Batman's potential. Like we knew who Batman was, but it was the potential that never was explored by, like a lot of writers,
other comic writers, right?
You know what I mean? And on top of that, like a lot of stories, whereas, again, like we just see that Bruce Wayne, Batman gives two shits. Like he just gives no F's about anything. You know what I mean? At this point, you know what I mean? Even like his relationship, because the thing is, it was more like a subterfuge with his relationship with everybody within the Justice League than it was even villains. You know what I mean? It's because like the thing is, Frank made it to whereas nobody trusted him with good reason. But then, you understand why he's that way because he's seen so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what makes for a good story. You know what I mean? Especially what we see in, Dark Knight Returns and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that was the platform for stories like that. Even Frank's run, in a lot of his artwork, in Marvel influenced a lot of writers who were writing the stories because they were writing it based on his perspective. You know what I mean? Like, so there was like, okay, we have to write it this way based off of how brooding he draws these characters. There was even a story I heard where like even Stan was like, good artist, but questioning the direction at the same time until he sat down and talked to Frank, and he was like, okay, well, all right, that's all I needed to know. Like if you
he brought a callousness to Batman that no one had ever seen before. Like
man,
like when Carrie took over for Robin, Alfred was like, yo, what are you doing? Have you forgot about Jason? And Bruce goes, Jason, good shoulder, but war, no, this is war. And that is something that's always stuck with me about how he's viewed the Robins, like that they are tools to him. I mean, like he cares for them and loves them, but at the end of the day, he's on a crusade, and everyone else is just pieces of the puzzle to solve,
to help him win.
That's it. That's it. It's a mission. Like life is just a mission to him, which it was so interesting to see the story go this way because it was PTSD on like another level. Like the war isn't over, and we see a lot of veterans like feel that way. Like this isn't done. It's not over. Like there's more to do, and he couldn't just sit still. Like he had so much more to do, and that is such a unique and interesting take on Batman, just like ramped up, because other people have done that, but not at the level where like I don't have room for feelings and hugs and like making sure you're okay. We have a job. Are you going to help me or not?
Yeah.
To take Batman from that bright blue and gray and yellow to like the dark gray and black or that dark blue and yellow, man, nobody was doing that. Nobody was doing that to him. And you got to see.
I was pissed though. Even as a reader back then, bro, I was pissed with that emblem because I hated it, bro. I was like, "Come on, man,
dude,
bro, I always loved yellow. I always loved the yellow, bro. That was my thing, and I still love the yellow. And then when
yellow to me,
bro, I loved it. I just it was something about the aesthetics, but then. Because even like, earlier on the concepts was even with his utility belts, it was like a brighter yellow, but then you started seeing it more military and muted. Like he started, so his concept
it made more sense
based on the mood at that time. So I was like, man, but I understood it.
Yeah.
Because see the yellow to me, if I'm a criminal, right, the yellow on your chest, that's where I'm gonna shoot you first.
That was intentional because that's where he was That's where he was armored up.
Yeah.
Which is always funny because he had, his sidekick in yellow to draw fire too. Because it's like, all right, if you're gonna shoot somebody,
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like he's all yellow. Go for him, and then while you trying to go for him, I'm gonna
go for him first.
I'm gonna come up behind you and break some arms and necks and bones.
Oh man,
yeah.
But just to see him brooding and to see that that hero life, what it ended up doing to his body, breaking him down. Like, I never thought I would see Batman. Like, I mean, not broken down, but just worn from the years of heroing in Gotham City, man. It took, Frank Miller showed you the toll it took on this boy's life.
You rarely seen that too. Like now, when we see we see Alex Ross drawn with all the scars and stuff, right? Like we see that a lot now. You didn't see that back in the day. It was like he went through life just unscathed. But Frank Miller's Batman showed you like he's not Superman. He's not bulletproof. Like the toll it took on his body and his mind. Was palpable, and he showed that. But at the same time, he still keeps coming like a fucking horror monster.
Still keeps coming, bro. Still keeps coming.
Relationship
Bro. I
with
love
Joker
it about
was amazing
him,
too. I don't know of many stories before that kind of like fleshed out the sickness between the two of them. Like Batman couldn't bring himself to kill Joker. Joker couldn't bring himself to kill Batman. Like it was a dance. Like it was a relationship that they needed each other. Like the Joker was in a trance because he had no reason to live until Batman was out there again. And then Batman not able to kill him at the end and just basically paralyze him. And then Joker is like, not like this, and breaking his own neck with the last bit of strength he has left. It was just incredible storytelling.
It's just the thing is, it's like that those stories were always mixed for me because it's like, I wanted so much more. Less the thing is, I'm not going to front, and again, being a hypocrite that I am, I hated Joker in the very beginning, bro, because I was just like, I hated Joker, bro. But why? The reason why is because I thought that the focus of those stories were always on the entanglement between him and Joker, and it sacrificed other stories, other characters, other ways, other things that I thought, and focuses that I thought Batman needed to be directed to, but his nemesis was always Joker, and so I understood. And then what Frank Miller's stories were telling you was like, it's not that it's just his nemesis; it's just a mirror image of who he is,
of him.
Batman really sometimes
something. One bad day for Bruce turned him into Batman. One bad day for Joker turned him into.
But to see Joker in a catatonic state for all them years, bro, like he just like, fuck it. Like, if there's no Batman, then I'm gonna stop doing my shit. I can't kill people if I know Batman not trying to come get me. He was in the crazy house for like 15 years, not doing nothing. Just watching TV. And then all of a sudden, Batman shows up.
He goes on a talk show and pours the whole crowd. That's why it was so great. Like that they used that in a roundabout way for
with a Joker movie
Joaquin Phoenix. Because when he was in that crowd doing an interview, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna
Joker talk to
this whole crowd.
Yep. Listen, man. But just the beginning of that book, to see him like that was awesome. Like, Joker not doing nothing. He's just like a vegetable right now until he sees Batman again. Was dope. I don't know.
Definitely, bro. Like, I mean, and that but I mean, Frank again, bro. Like, I mean, without Frank,
he kills it. He
kills it all the time. But like I said, without Frank, you wouldn't have got. I mean, we're just talking about Batman, but we're not talking about like Sin City. We're not talking about his stint on, just so
Daredevil.
many different runs.
If you've never read the Sin City novels, graphic novels, every single one of them is
good books.
Absolutely phenomenal. I remember when I was young and I first found out about them, I was like, all right, what's this? And I checked it out and I was just like, I couldn't put it down. I just had to get every single one I could get my hands on, like the Fat Yellow Bastard and like the David Kilfor. Like all those stories is just like mind blowing. It's just incredible. The art is just I never have seen art done the way that he did it, especially not in like mainstream comics. It was just so beautiful. The storytelling was so raw and visceral and real. It felt like like a Tarantino film before I knew what a Tarantino film was. It was just incredible storytelling. Like 300 was amazing too. Like the man has accomplished so much and had so many incredible ideas and not just art and writing. Like
art and writing,
it's amazing.
So speaking of which, Vinny, with that basically being said, I will pretty much do you the honors of leading us pretty much into, today's or this week's run. When we talk about Frank Miller, you would be remiss without talking about the book that literally, I think, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, the book that really cemented Batman for who he is
bro.
today.
Yes.
This is the book.
Yes.
Like, if anybody has never read Dark Knight Returns,
yes,
like, this is the book that really made, I think, in my opinion, it made him
I agree.
relevant.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Because the thing is, we played around who he was. We played around because you've seen this is cerebral. This is psychological. This is okay, a man on a mission by any means. Even with the detective values. You know what I mean? Like, still, this was the book, I believe, that kind of cemented the way we see him today.
Yes.
And where and I think that purposely done in a way that it made him more interesting, and it's someone it's like you can't come back from this because nobody's going to want to see anything else other than this.
Nope.
In a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Vinny, lead us into this, man.
Yeah, like that's the what I've been talking about with the Dark Knight Returns. There was 4 books. You're talking about the 4-issue run that we've been talking about, right? Like
yeah.
So there was 4 issues initially, and like of course it's mostly collected in trades now, but it was 4 issues, in '86, and that was the premise. It was just a retired Batman coming out of retirement and just having enough of what he was seeing in the world that he had to leave behind, and there was only so much that that he could do. He had his hands tied basically because superheroes were outlawed, no more vigilantes, and so he had, even instead of having all the resources of having the Justice League was like, nah, they said no,
see ya,
we out.
We're not
So
fucking with you because
you on your own, because you didn't get the memo. Like, they got one guy now, and it's and it's Superman for the president. So if you go out there trying to rock the boat, it's not going to end well for you.
Yeah.
But Batman,
and it was like nobody could trust him at that point.
Nobody. Well, it's like his mission was, see, in DC, a lot of the superheroes are very lighthearted and very family oriented, and look at each other as brothers and sisters and stuff. And Batman always was a loner, and when he worked with the Justice League, he was using them. He didn't give a shit about any of them, really. He just wanted them to do what he needed to do to fucking win. That's all that mattered. So that kind of relationship that he had with with his peers, it feels like by this point in time it had it kind of poisoned, and them 10 years later, after older and slower, and it's not worth it anymore to them put their necks on the lines for Bruce. So they were like, nah, you're on your own. This is fucking crazy. We're done. We had our run. That's not the way things are done anymore. Sorry, I can't help you. And Batman decided to just like fucking go at it anyways. And he recruited Carey, and he just went out there and just went after the mutants anyways, and had one of the most infamous fights in comic book history with the mutants too.
Man.
And got his ass whooped. Licked his wounds, went back out there and fought their head. And one of the most infamous scenes ever, he's in the mud pit, and he's like, this isn't a mud pit, this is an operating table, and I'm the surgeon, and destroyed their leader. And it's kind of like a prison fight, right? Where you take out the biggest, strongest dude in the yard, and then everybody's like, oh shit, now he runs the place. And all these, oh, he's Billy Bad. Like, they had a whole lingo, a whole slang. He basically created a whole, a whole slang, a whole ebonics, if you will, for the young
mutant
kids and gangs in the future there. And then they just switched it up and became Sons of Batman. He outlawed them using guns and was just like, I'm gonna teach you how to fight with bows and arrows and regular weapons, because fuck guns, and I'm gonna teach you how to fight with your mind and your body. And they just were like in awe of somebody with that much willpower, basically, and they all followed him. They would have followed him into hell. Like, that's the type of willpower that people also ran with after this Batman run. Like, I guess it was kind of like it woke people up to a lot of different traits that Batman had that this series turned up to 11. You know, like the brooding, the willpower, the fighting
Mm-hmm.
ability, like all those things were there in
Oh, there
Batman
it
in
is.
different moments. But
Yeah.
like he
This
turned those
moment right
moments.
here, bro.
Yeah, man, it was
That
just
scene. Yeah, man.
and for whatever reason, if you whether you read the comic or not, there's a animated version of it. The Dark Knight Returns. There's two parts. I highly
Mm-hmm.
recommend checking that out. They do a lot of the scenes from the comic justice,
Yeah.
especially this scene. This scene in the animated movie is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely recommend checking that out too. But definitely pick up like Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. If somehow you've never read it, it's something that is definitely should be
Classic.
in your library for sure.
Yeah. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, it's like with these, especially with this run, it was, you didn't find out until like later on, like the amount of not just physical pain, but
Yeah.
emotional pain he was suppressing, the
Yes.
entire time.
Yeah.
And feeling like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has turned their back on him, which even made him even more like, what, fuck y'all,
More
what I mean?
bitter.
Like, more
Mm-hmm.
bitter and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. You know what I mean? But,
Mm-hmm.
so blinded by his own rage, but he didn't really see, like, it's like not really understanding that you are really the natural cause of this shit, but you're just blinded by everything else in the mission. It's like this cements the simple fact that he was always somebody on the mission, asserting his dominance.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because of what he felt by any means
Right.
necessary. Like he was the living embodiment of any means necessary. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He was
So
on a
Mm-hmm.
mission. There was no stopping him. The
none.
the
No
other
stopping him at all.
a backdrop to this whole Forest Run too was also um, political and socio-political agendas
Yeah.
too, in a way, because people like to say, oh, like politics don't belong in comics and stuff like this, and this whole thing has
Politics in it.
symbolism, politics and
Yep.
symbolism throughout the
Yep.
whole thing. Now it's a
Mm-hmm.
backdrop. It's like it's running parallel to the story, but
Mm-hmm.
it's part of the story. It's part of how we view classism and how we view war, and you have the news stations talking about different stories that are as a result of the things that are going on in main story, and you have you have politicians talking about this. You have politicians
Yeah.
deciding what Batman can and can't do as far as vigilantism. Like
Street
there's
yeah.
there's a lot of fabric that soon became bigger things weaved into larger stories, like the Power storyline by Bendis and Civil War storyline by Mark Miller of
Mm-hmm.
of regulating superheroes. That is
Mm-hmm.
really common trope now, but back then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's again, like it's a story that literally, if you guys haven't read it, it's a story that only Frank Miller can tell the way he told it
Mm-hmm.
at that time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, fun fact again, back then, DC Comics in the state that they were actually in,
They weren't doing this.
they weren't doing this, but at the same
No.
time, it took like, so if correct me if I'm wrong, when Frank Miller originally developed this concept, he developed
Mhm.
it years before they even decided to publish it.
Yeah, he
Because
wrote it in 80, I think.
yeah,
He wrote it
he
all in
wrote it
pencil in 80, and he got it out in
before they
86.
decided to publish it, because they didn't
Mhm.
want to go this route, because they were like, okay, this is a character that you're transitioning into a dark, brooding, more brooding than whatever. How do we come back
Mhm.
from it? And his answer was, you don't, because that's not who he are. Like, this is a different iteration. Like, if he's the Dark Knight, if he's basically this vigilante that you make him out to be, then
Mhm.
you haven't, like, how can we make a happy vigilante?
You
You know what I
can't.
mean?
Exactly.
Like, you can't
That's
do it.
impossible.
It's something that's totally
Mhm.
impossible. So this is the route that he chose to take. I mean,
Mhm.
bro, I revisit this run so often.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. I have bro, I do this shit all the time. So anytime I get a new Batman figure, I go back and I read Frank Miller's stories. But the reason why is because it gives me ideas on what to pose, how to pose, and how to
Yep.
create the
I
emotion.
never thought about doing that,
Bro,
bro.
do it. When you get a Batman
Damn.
figure, go back and read Frank Miller's stories, bro.
I never thought about doing that,
Look
bro.
at the different ways that Batman carries himself.
Poses and can't.
Different posing. Look at the jump off the building with the lightning. The shit. This even this.
Yeah.
Like, how often do you see that pose?
Come on, bro. With him bent over on that wire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the
man.
thing, bro. Like, you'll never go back. And the thing is, even when you're posing him, you might end up not posing him with certain figures, bro, because of how Frank Miller did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do it all the time.
And the Ben suit, the Ben Batman suit looks just like something from Frank Miller comics.
And
both
that's exactly what they pull from. The funny part is when they first started talking about Superman versus Batman, you would see like regular non-readers who don't know much about comic books say, "How the hell could Batman be Superman?" And I remember I had a conversation with a friend who doesn't read at all, and I was like, "One question: who's Superman's biggest villain?" And they were like, "Lex Luthor." And I was like, "Huh, a human." So if Lex Luthor can figure out how to beat Batman,
you think?
I mean, Superman.
Bruce can't.
With the
right.
kryptonite necklace, he did it in the first Christopher Reeves movie. He took him out. So why wouldn't Batman be able to? I mean,
listen,
all you have
as
to do
a
is figure out a
kid,
way to work in kryptonite.
That was my biggest argument. Like, no way, nobody can be Superman, especially Batman. He has no powers. That was my biggest argument. I read this book and okay, maybe he can be him at some point. You know what I'm saying? Given time.
You even had Batman on a horse. I mean, you had something for everybody in this book.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then so you Superman as the antagonist, like I thought I would never see that in comics, bro. Like Superman's working for the president, like personally working for the president. It's like,
but it was in a way that wasn't, the quote unquote evil Superman.
Yeah, he was still good.
He wasn't evil. He thought he was doing the right thing. Like he was just listening.
Right.
He was just a cop, basically.
Yeah.
He thought he was just going after, somebody who was causing trouble and a terrorist.
Yeah.
So in Superman's mind, he was doing the right thing. And in the context of the story, anyone who's so bothered by, Superman losing that fight, it's like Superman lost that fight not just because of the gadgets and Green Arrow's help and kryptonite. He also lost that fight because he doesn't have the killer instinct, because
he has mad respect for Bruce too.
He's not willing to go. Yeah,
he's not willing to fight Batman on the street face to face and try to talk to him. He could have killed Batman from orbit, but that wasn't. But that was part of Batman's plan. He knew
that's what I like.
He knew that Clark wouldn't fight, with dirt. He knew he wouldn't fight dirty. He would fight him one-on-one. Like he wouldn't. That's part of Batman's plan, that he knows that he's going to fight him on his terms, which is foolish in a way on Superman's part. But that's who Superman is. Superman has a heart. He's too nice to fight him the way he all these fights that you always see. Superman always gets his ass kicked in the beginning because he doesn't want to be mean.
He don't want to kill people.
He don't want to kill people.
Right.
He lives life like he's in a cardboard box. He wants to figure it out before he goes Superman on.
The thing I love about their dynamic in this book is the fact that the respect.
It's respect
that Superman still had for Bruce. Like even though like they're like on like I guess on the outs a little bit, but they had years of being friends and years of getting to know each other. So even with Clark working for the president, he still had respect for Bruce. Like even when Reagan was trying to send him to go fight him or go deal with him, he was like, "Well, you sure there's no other way? Like I can't. You want me to, And he wanted him to go deal with him. I was like,
he
wow.
Still basically considered him. But see, the thing is, like, but that's the thing. It's like Clark is always considered considered Batman a friend. Batman has always considered Superman an associate. Like literally. That's what it is, because he's never been able to really get.
No matter how close they get, bro.
Yeah, like we didn't see that level of closeness to them with them. I honestly think until later.
Yeah.
Also even like more towards Kingdom Come. That's
when they started doing
you know what I mean?
World's Finest too. World's Finest.
Yeah, like so that's the thing. Like there's always been like, Clark trying to really not, just teach him like, look, you're not alone. Batman, like, I've always been alone. This is how I work. You not understand that? It's your weaknesses because you're so sentimental. You know what I mean? You're so empathetic. I'm not empathetic. I'm not that person. Like you understand like what I've been through. I give two fucks about people sometimes. I do what I have to do because it's what's needed. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I mean, again,
their relationship has always been interesting. Every different way that people tell it is because Batman is so tortured that when Superman is around, it's like he respects Superman's ability to stay light through all the shit that Superman has been through, because he knows that he's been through a whole bunch of shit, and it just makes him like fuck everybody. He's like, damn, you go through all this and you go to work with a smile on your face. How the fuck do you do it? And so he respects them, but at the same time, you're right. He like on the real deep down inside, he has no friends.
None.
None.
Really Superman is the closest thing to a friend that he has. Superman is the closest thing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like even however close, even when World's Finest, I got real close. Like even, I don't know. He just keeps this one little wall up for Clark.
But see, the thing is, bro, it's not even that wall up for Clark. It's that wall up for anybody who's superhuman.
For anybody. Yeah,
Anybody who's superhuman, but anybody, and that's part of the contingency is because, again, he doesn't trust. How many times have you heard everybody tell him, like Clark, you just don't trust anyone. I mean, not Clark, but Bruce Wayne or Batman. You just don't trust anybody. Like, you really don't. Like, you just develop this thing where you just,
we've all wanted to see like that Batman, like, kind of translated to film a little bit better. But I think you didn't need to read a comic for it. Like the first episode of Justice League, where at the end Batman's like, well, I'm not hanging around. I'm not really a people person, but when you need me, and you will, how to
just call me. Like, right.
And that's his relationship with everybody.
Batman, bro.
Like, it's a war. You guys are my co-workers, my brothers on the field, but we're not going.
We ain't gonna hug it out at
play pool. Yeah, we ain't gonna go play pool after work. Nah.
Yeah, we ain't hugging it out. So you might as well just forget that. Like we're here to do a job. And after that, like you know what I mean. I'm going back to the Bat Cave. Might call up, Selena, give me some butt.
Yeah. Right.
That, you know what I mean?
Or Talia,
or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Just be like that. Like I'm human. You know what I mean?
And call her the Bat Uber and send her.
Bro, that whole run with Batman getting married and Natalia coming to beat Catwoman's ass. What the hell? Yo, that was a great series, yo. Did you get any of those?
Yeah.
My god, dude.
I felt like it was stressed out.
And that's the thing, though.
But
I loved it, though, man.
But that's even part of his attraction to Alina's because she's made him work. Like she's made him work through so many comics. Like, I just to the point, like in the very beginning, she really didn't like him, but because
she didn't like him
at all, literally at all.
Nope.
But then, like we see, yeah, man, it is. This is what it is. But this takes
put the mat down
exactly. But I want to kind of move in because, like I said, anybody out there, if you haven't read that, if you don't have that run, the Dark Knight run in general.
It's
get it.
Amazing.
It's an amazing experience. I mean, pretty much people out there who have it, you'll love it. It's definitely a run. It's one of the best runs out there, and it's cemented who Batman is today. That's why you get, because even to be quite honest, even Christopher Nolan owes his films to Frank Miller.
Oh yeah.
His run.
If you've never read it, when you read it, you'll like, oh, that's hey wait.
That was in Chris Nolan. That was in.
You realize all these different things that they, the movies and
that they've plucked from. Exactly.
Yeah, so right. That was in Snyder. That was in Daredevil. Like it's just it's from this Batman, but it's affected Marvel and DC with their characters on the screen and a bunch of. And if
you like it, pick up Year One because that's another Batman story. So I mean, it's all. Miller's established, so much of the lore, and it's been, borrowed and tinkered with, but it's still a lot from his mind.
Yeah,
was it a scene? I think it was in Dark Knight Rises where Rachel got killed and the building blew up, and Batman got there and he's on top of that pile and he's brooding. I was like, God, that's straight out of Dark Knight Rises, man. That poor, he's on the top. All you don't even see his face is like it's all black shadow. I was like, holy shit, that's definitely Dark Knight Rises right there. Essential.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. We got in the game, all in the game. He says, Leo Rockwell, I mean, he's Leo Rockwell. 1/6 scale man over under 50% HBO. John Stewart, JL, Green Lantern shows gets converted into a DC movie like the MCU's Armor Wars. I don't know. It's kind of hard.
I hope so.
It
I
would
hope
be.
so.
It would be. I would want to see it, but again, like as much as I want to see a John Stewart, I have to get Hal Jordan first.
You gotta have Hal first. Yeah, you gotta have Hal first.
I have to get Hal Jordan first. I can't, I want to see that, but I think we need a Hal Jordan first to be the blueprint to what we see later on, because I think it's important to introduce Hal. You have to introduce Hal to understand John Stewart. Literally. I think that's the way I look at it. If you don't have if without a Hal Jordan, you don't have a Kyle Rayner, you don't have a John Stewart, you don't have a Guy Gardner, you don't have
Simon Bias.
You don't have these individuals without, again, a Hal Jordan. Like, you need that, first. You know what I mean?
It's kind of tough to just skip ahead to John.
Yeah, you can't.
John was like 6, 7, 8 years later on. I wasn't even. They wouldn't even. Nah.
Yeah, man. I hope it. Look, if they give us a John Stewart, I'd be happy. But just give us. You
gotta have an origin with Hal in there somehow.
Yeah,
in that first show.
Or at least mention it. Yeah. At least mention it. You know what I mean?
He's out somewhere, lost in space or something.
Yeah, definitely, man. So definitely can't wait to see it. But yeah, definitely good topic, good books, good reads. Actually, make sure you do that. This next topic again. Now listen, we know that this has been something that's been floating around in the industry right now. But I want to take a different spin on it. And we'll do it a different way, because as I put in the thumbnail itself, this symbol. Here's the thing. Let me just let me say a few things really quick. This symbol, for a lot of people, especially, you have to understand the S on your chest was literally one of the first superheroes there was. Literally one of the first superheroes there was. And how important that this character is to the DC universe is extremely important. Now, I appreciate the sentiment. Now, I say this way. Of course, everybody knows, and it's already out there. You've seen it on so many different platforms that, again, Henry Cavill will not be playing Superman going forward in the DC universe. So we know this, okay? So we understand that. James Gunn has basically come out and said that Superman is highly important to where they're going. He is the most important character. But he feels as though that the direction that he's going in is to have a more grounded Clark in Metropolis, starting it from his earlier years. That's where he wanted to go. I get that. Am I upset that, again, someone like Henry Cavill, who was a great Superman, in a sense, gets screwed over again? Yes, I am, because I think that, in my opinion, so here's my thing. Henry Cavill makes the announcement right after Black Adam, right? Right after Black Adam was released, Dwayne Johnson's extremely happy about it because he feels as though he pushed for it. Henry Cavill, we get that, post-credit scene. Everybody's on their feet. Everybody's screaming and hollering. Everybody's, excited about it. We get that. Okay. Henry Cavill goes on Good Morning America. Now, it's not even Good Morning America. Was it Good Morning? No. Yeah, it was Good Morning America.
It was Good Morning America.
Good Morning America, like 2 days later, after the release. It was basically after the release of the film. He goes on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and makes the announcement that, yes, he's back. Bro. DC allowed him to, real quick though, DC allowed him to make this statement, right?
I'm just saying the chat is saying there's a problem with the stream.
What'd you say?
The chat is saying there's something problem with the stream. I don't know if we're on.
Are we on? Are we on?
Somebody in the chat, tell us if you're hearing us, please.
Can you hear us? Can y'all hear us out there? Let me know.
Oh, no.
Because it says we're on.
All right, cool. I'm just wondering.
It says we're on.
Are we good?
I see our three hosts and the gym wallpaper. Can y'all see? You're on.
All right, cool. As long as you're hearing us.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Audio is good. Okay. Can you see us? Can y'all see the main screen? Can y'all see everything? I feel like I'm having a John Campion moment. Can y'all see us? Can you hear us? Can you see us? Most importantly, we can hear you, but it's two little windows that keep spinning around. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do.
We just got the Superman logo on the screen right now.
Really? Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Let me do this real quick. Let me do this. I'm gonna leave.
Let me look at it.
Hold up. Stop. No. Stay. I'm gonna come out myself.
He just jumped out.
Technical difficulties.
Yes.
Working them out.
We're working it out for you guys. We love you guys.
Yeah. We can get it right.
Let me see.
Okay.
There he is.
Back. Now let me take this down. Can y'all see us at all? Can y'all see us now? Let me know if y'all can see us. I might have to do something else here. Audio's good, but no Superman logo. Not on. Yeah, I turned the Superman logo off.
He turned it off.
I turned it off. Can you see us? That's the main thing. Can you see us right now? Let me know. Audio good, but no Superman. Vinny and Jedi Pimp screens are spinning. Okay, bro. Come out. What I want y'all to do is come out and come back in. Please stand by, family. We're still here. All right. Come out and come back in. Dip out, come back in. Yeah. So they're going to come back in. Can y'all see me right now? Let me know if y'all can see me. Can see you, however, nothing you've shared have ever been shown. Okay. Now I'm bringing them back in. Let me know if y'all can see Vinny. Can y'all see Vinny now? Can y'all see Vinny? Let me know. We got Jedi Pimp in here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can y'all see us? Yes, Vinny has 2 screens, 1 blank.
See what happened when we start talking about DC?
Vinny, can y'all see Jedi Pimp right now? Can see Vinny. So they can see Vinny, but y'all can't see Jedi Pimp.
As soon as we mentioned DC, something happened. Ain't that some bullshit?
Yeah.
They're coming after us.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Technical difficulties. Give me a second here.
All right, no doubt. Bruh.
Okay.
Superman shield.
There's 2 extra windows that are loading. Can y'all see me? Can y'all see?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
All right. So hold on a second. We're going to do this a different way. So give me a second.
Okay. Yes,
y'all
sir.
keep talking amongst yourself. I'll be right back. We're going to get this straightened out because technical difficulties don't stop the program. So y'all talk.
No doubt. We're here.
All right. I'll be right back with you.
We're gonna we're gonna talk about this issue. We're not gonna let the powers that be silence comic book talk with friends. We're gonna be
they're trying to stop us, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. We're gonna have fun with it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Lot to discuss.
I just don't like how they made a man look like a fool, bro. Like it's just and he loves the character. I don't care what nobody says. The dude loves being Superman, and to me, he was this generation's Superman. I mean, if you read any comic, open any comic of Superman right now, the dude looks just like the comic book. So it's like
the tough part is there's very few actors who are in that kind of shape. Without going to a wrestler, I don't want them obviously to cast, a wrestler who can't act, but obviously they're going to want somebody who can act more than look the physical shape. But and now don't get me wrong, there's definitely different versions of physique for Superman. Back in the 30s, he definitely didn't look like Ed McGuinness Superman, right? But
right.
but now there is like a Ed McGuinness and and Joe Madureira Superman, and now that's pretty much how he's always drawn. So it was dope seeing somebody who looked like straight from the pages, because like whenever there's somebody who's swole like that, you always think, oh, they're gonna have to get a wrestler, because ain't nobody in Hollywood like Schwarzenegger anymore. So it's like, so it's going to be very interesting who they pick to see if they're going to get somebody else
6'2",
who's just Diesel,
dude.
I mean, that
just
first
like
shot,
him.
bro. The first shot that I seen was him in front of the bank vault and just bent over with the bank vault on the floor, and I was like, oh shit,
bro,
shit. Like I mean,
listen, that shot in front of the bank vault was iconic,
no doubt. I was like, oh, it's like that, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously the physical is not everything. It's Christopher Reeves didn't need to be Diesel, but it's like now that we got,
but he was a big guy already.
It's the same conversation. How people are like, how could you say Michael Keaton is your favorite Batman, and then also like how physical, Ben Affleck was as well, because Michael came first, right? If Ben was Batman in the 80s, and then they cast Michael, it'd been like. But since Michael came first, it reminded you of the comics out, because back in the day, in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s,
that's how they were drawing him.
Everybody was drawn. Every superhero was drawn like a normal person. It wasn't until the 80s where people started being all drawn like bodybuilders. But that's how what we grew up on. So when we started seeing, in the movies, like we didn't really expect it. But I don't know. It's one of those things where, we'll get into it. I don't want to like completely run a gamut on the topic without Leo, but there's it's not all bad. It's not like they're shutting it down. It's just really just disappointing that I would have loved to see them like finish it out and then
keep on talking. Just keep on talking.
So that'd have been cool, but we're gonna just have to deal with this things just being the way that they are. Obviously, before any of this shit happened, really a lot of us felt like there was a lot of issues that they had in the first place. So they needed to do something, and I don't envy none of them motherfuckers, because there's no right answer, and it's almost impossible to just snap your fingers and have what Marvel's got. It takes so much work. It's going to be a really tough task for them to rebuild everything and expect the fans to have patience. And it's like the frustrating thing is they had all the toys. They could have been done all the different moves that Marvel did, and they just never did. And Marvel had the luxury of building with no pressure. Like when Iron Man came out, nobody was like, this movie better make $1 billion when Iron Man came out. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. Even us comic book fans were like, Iron Man's a C-lister. Why are they doing Iron Man? We want to see Spidey. You know what I mean? Like they had to start from scratch, and they just did.
And make Iron Man cooler than what he was.
And they got to just build at their own pace, right? And WB feels like, and it's almost like WB feels like they don't have that luxury when they do. Like they don't have to like come out and say, all this just has to happen by tomorrow and just have it all like already out there. Like you can slow build too. Also, you can feel like
it's like they're afraid, bro. Like they're afraid to like.
Also, it always confuses me why they didn't consider going the Justice League War route. Because when New 52,
they're afraid.
When New 52 started, remember how they jumped in with Justice League War, and then they threw everybody in, meeting each other for the first time, and here's Darkseid, and then like you could have had that moment, right, and then said, "Wow, the feedback is coming in, and everybody loves Wonder Woman. Let's do a Wonder Woman." The feedback's coming in, and said like, "Oh, everybody is loving Cyborg. Let's do him."
Right.
Like, you could have seen what people were gravitating to, and then did spin-off movies for those. There's no reason you have to have a movie before you put somebody in. Like with Black Adam, they didn't have to give Hawkman a movie and then wait for that to be a hit in order to put him in Black Adam. They just did
exactly, bro. I don't understand why they're afraid to use their base character. Like, why are you so scared to make Superman or give him a part 2 or give him a good movie? Like, he's too powerful. Who can you put him against? Are you serious?
Well, the frustrating thing is
a catalog of people that he fights just like Spider-Man. Like, I don't understand.
That's always been something really frustrating. Like they always, with so many different heroes, feel like, he's too powerful. We don't know how to write for him.
He's too
But in the
powerful.
comic books, they solve that problem by giving them more powerful villains, right? Like they don't make.
Thank you.
You know, like with your Thors and your Sentries and your Supermans, they always just give them more and more powerful superheroes. Like look at anime. Why are you not looking at anime? Anime is the biggest thing in the world right now, right? They don't make Naruto weaker. They make the Akatsuki stronger and like have the villains get bigger and bigger. They power scale, right? So with Hollywood, so often the trope is, oh, like we don't know what to do because he's getting too strong. Like
read
let's
a comic
take the powers
book.
away. Let's take the powers away. Let's take away Wolverine's healing factor. Let's take away Spider-Man's spider powers. Let's take away Iron Man's money. Let's take away Batman's money. Like that's always what they go back to because they want to show like, oh, we want to show character. Like there's so many villains that were created for this reason.
Yes.
Like you don't need to test this character by
for
taking
Superman
away what he has.
Right.
Test this character by giving him a challenge that he has to overcome. That's so much stronger. Okay. You know what I mean? Like
I'm gonna let you finish though, but everybody out there, are we good now? Can y'all see us, all three of us, right? If you can see all three of us, let us know, because I want to know. If you can see us, definitely let me know, man. I'd appreciate that. I definitely would appreciate that. If we're seeing us, if you're not seeing any more spinning screens, let me know. I'd appreciate it. But no, I was listening. I was mainly listening in the background because
we try to do like sidebar, except aside from your topic. So you want to just finish your setup?
Well, no. Because it's cool, because the whole point and where I was going with it was the simple fact that I don't agree, even though I don't agree with where they were going with the direction that they're taking with not allowing Cavill to be a part of it. But this is what I had to understand as well. And just follow me here, and just again, because I'm seeing it in a different way. It was such a mistake, yes, and I know a lot of people are saying that it was a huge mistake to, pardon him or not actually have him back. My point was, and what I was making earlier, they said the screens still spinning.
There's extra screens that are spinning, so it's like they see us, but just extra screens. So I say let's just rock with it.
Yeah, but I don't. That's the thing, is like I don't see the screens. So
I don't see them either. Really, but they're seeing us. They're just seeing extra screens.
That's weird. Yeah.
Weird. Lael, as I say, Lael's like America Chavez. Yeah. But like, listen,
that's DC. That's DC coming after us.
It's multiverse, not y'all.
That's DC coming after us, bro. They upset.
Yeah, it is.
Crisis on Infinite Screens.
Like I said, if I stop, no subjects photo. Yeah, I didn't bring it in yet. I'm about to actually bring the subject photo in now, because like I said, I wanted to actually kind of make it a point to bring this up, because it's very important that we actually have this up on the screen. I'm pretty sure you can see it now. But the reason why I bring this up here is because we get an announcement, and I wanted to go back to this. We get an announcement from, Henry Cavill that he's coming back as Superman. Now, a week later after that, we get the announcement that Safran and James Gunn are heading the DC universe. You know what I mean? The DC studios, right? So we get that. My point is, they did not. For anybody who thinks that they did not already have that plan before Black Adam dropped, is foolish, because they did. My only gripe with DC is, why would you allow this man to, in a sense, in my opinion,
embarrass himself, bro?
Like that.
I think that's many people's biggest thing. Like,
yeah,
all right,
that's foul, man. That's my biggest gripe, bro. That's my biggest gripe, dog.
Yeah, and it is crazy. It's crazy that basically happened. He literally humiliated himself, bro. And
when you know how passionate he is about the character, bro, that's the foul part.
Well, but my point is, though, even with all of that, I understand, because the problematic system here with DC is that it was never cohesive. They never really had a plan, and now it's trying to right that ship and do things differently. So I get that. It's the direction. Now, the thing is, DC has been tainted for a while. It's been tainted by a whole bunch of drama, bad direction, bad decisions. even when Walter Hamada was there, it was crazy. It was the dumbest situation.
Yeah.
But now you have two individuals that have been tasked with trying to right the ship, trying to change the trajectory, do things different. I can appreciate that. But see, my focus isn't on, it is not at all on you know, it's not even on James Gunn. It's not on Zach Friend. It's not, you know, it's not basically on, even honestly, it's not on Cavill. It's on a story. I want the story. I am more focused on the story, strong story, deliver the story. Give us a story that's impactful, that highlights these characters, that shows respect towards these characters, the respect that they should have had, the Trinity, just them. Giving us these one-off characters have been a mistake, because the thing is, you've been leading people towards that direction, but haven't been focusing on your central characters. Now I hope they do that, because that's what's most important, is to focus in on those characters. You know what I mean? So again, I understand that a lot of people are upset. Hey, I'm just as upset because I really don't know the direction of, again, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I thought she was great. I just don't know the direction they're taking, because they haven't said anything. All we know is that Patty Jenkins, Wonder Woman 3, is not pushing forward. But Gal Gadot hasn't made a statement. It was kind of ironic that she made that statement a couple days before they made the announcement, and she hasn't said anything since. So I don't know if they're working with her or if they're not working with her. I don't know. But the whole Kimberly, and we know that Ben Affleck has met with them to direct the film. People have this perception that he might direct the Batman film that he's always wanted to direct. If that's the case, cool, that's fine. But still, to say that Henry Cavill can't be a part of that equation, I don't understand the decision, but it's not my decision to make. And I'm pretty sure if all of us were in that position, and literally if we were, it would probably be a hard task as well. If you look at the larger scheme of things, Man of Steel drops, didn't break $1 million. It should have been $1 million film, but didn't break.
Billion.
Batman versus Superman should have been a $2 billion film, didn't break. The only film that basically broke, or probably made $1 billion was Aquaman, which I didn't, whatever.
I don't understand that shit.
First film does well. It wasn't a super financial success, but it was still good. Mm-hmm. Then they dropped Wonder Woman 84, and it's a dud.
Awful. Yeah.
Not awful film. You feel me?
Yeah.
So this is where we're at right now. You know what I mean? Like, this is where we're at. Are we still freezing? Because I'm showing a connection. Are we still freezing?
Yeah, I'm seeing everything good on mine, but
it's good on mine.
I'm good on mine.
Yeah, and I don't know, but again, I just think that, like, literally, bro, I'm hoping. Here's the thing: I'm letting them have their space. I'm gonna let them have their space to do whatever vision they have. I'm gonna let them have that vision. But if it's successful, I will give you all the props in the world. All the props in the world. Mm. But if it goes wrong, there's going to be a lot of people saying, I told you so.
Hell yeah. Yep. My thing is, we saw Smallville for what? 14 years? Even saw seasons. Him. Yeah. And you saw him in that 10th season in Metropolis working at the Daily Planet. So we've already saw that, man. It's like, I don't know, bro. Like, they de-aging everybody else. Henry don't look old to me. And it's like, yo, like, you could de-age him like you're de-aging an 80-year-old Harrison Ford for a movie. I mean, I don't know. I'm in a pickle with it, because I just feel, one, he was just wronged by the studio and, the powers that be. I don't even want to get into it about Gunn and Zaslav and whatever, how I feel, but I'm disappointed in the fact that, as a fan of DC and the love for Superman and Batman, my two favorite characters of all time, I just think that they've had 10 years to fix or right their ship, and they just haven't done it. It's like they don't give a damn about the fans. They care about what makes the company money. And you could do both if you do it the right way, with the right writers and the right script. You could do both. But you're so busy trying to make money and trying to appeal to whoever. You're like, fuck the fans. I mean, excuse my French, but you're like, the hell with the fans, and it pisses me off because, when Man of Steel came out, I'm like, oh shit, it's not, I didn't even really know who Snyder was in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But I became, to me, Man of Steel became an instant classic. To see Superman caught in a rock and a hard place trying to save two people from being killed by Zod, and he has to snap his neck or they're going to be dead. We've never seen Superman put in a position like that before, ever in a comic or anywhere, TV, anywhere else. That was a first. And I don't understand why people still on that part are like, oh, well, Superman don't kill nobody, blah, blah, blah. So you rather have the people die right in front of him? It just, I don't know. I thought the movie was a classic. It was a foundation they could have worked off of. But again, the writing kills a lot of.
Now he froze.
Yeah, now he's froze. Yeah. I don't know. I was gonna give him a second to come back, but
let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so knowing what we basically know, right? Knowing that we know that this is the direction that they're taking, right? We know that we're upset about a few things. Are we willing to give them the benefit of the doubt if they are successful?
Look, I said from jump, it's the biggest sour grapes that this is. I think this left a bad taste in so many people's mouth because they invited Cavill back and made it a lot of fanfare about it. This wasn't him just leaking it or accidentally, saying that he was back. They laid out the red carpet for him and made a big thing about him coming back in Black Adam. And then less than 2 months later, they were like, actually, never mind. And a lot of people are saying it's not fair to blame James Gunn for that. But at the same time, you brought in someone to run the ship who, knew that was going to be a decision that he might make. Mm-hmm. And it's very frustrating to see that. I've complained about these DC films for a decade, and I've wanted them to fix it for a decade. Yeah. And I just am frustrated that they feel like the only way to fix it is to recast when the problem isn't the casting. The problem is the stories. So Gal wasn't why 84 sucked. That wasn't her fault. Yeah. It wasn't Ben or Cavill's fault that Superman vs. Batman was trash. It wasn't anyone in the Justice League's fault. Certainly not Ray Fisher, whose problem was why Justice League wasn't literally a license to print money that it should have been. So I felt like you could all right. So Dark World bombed. Their answer wasn't recast. Thor. It was like nah. There was we got to go another way with the writing, and they changed that to. And now with 4 being a flop, they aren't going to say, oh, it's Hemsworth's fault. Nope. They're going to change the writing again. That is a more mature, it makes more sense to tackle that. No one is saying that the problems here is Cavill's or Ben's or those are the things that they've got right. They got the action sequences right. They got the actors right. It's the stories and the continuity that's all over the place. Instead, that's what needs to be fixed. So by coming in and saying, all right, we figured out what's wrong. We're going to get rid of Superman and recast him. All right, we good? No, wait, that's not what we said to change. we wanted you to fix the continuity because I think a big problem in what it seems to be is Warner Brothers has a very toxic relationship with Zack Snyder. And the fans there's a lot of fans that love Zack Snyder stuff. And I feel like they just want to be done with his vision of the DC universe because it's so ingrained and tied in. And it's kind of like if Feige was gone with Marvel and they start changing it up, people would be like, well, that's not what Feige would have done. Or, he's so ingrained in the landscape of DC that changing different things that would have been not what Snyder would have done is causing problems. So it's they want to do a clean slate. And I feel like if they would have made this decision after the Discovery buyout without bringing Cavill back, it would have been an easier pill to swallow without, that messiness of, telling your girl you're getting back with him and like, nah, actually, you know what? I got another dime piece. Like, you're out. Like, why even bring me back over here then for just one more time? You know what I mean? It's like you just want to sleep with me one more night. What it don't make you know what I mean? That's what it felt like, right? Especially for such a beloved actor. You know what I mean? Like, he's like one of the good guys in Hollywood who never's in trouble, never makes no waves. He's one of us. He's a nerd like us. He does Dungeons and Dragons in his spare time, for crying out loud, man. Like, this is a good dude. So to do that to him, it's obviously going to rub people the wrong way. Then you wipe everything. You know, we don't know if everything's going to be wiped, but nobody said nothing about Peacemaker, Suicide Squad. And it's like, all right, well, are you going to scrap your shit too, or just Snyder's shit? So there's that messiness too. And then on top of that, all the groundwork was laid for, you know, to just write a better Wonder Woman, write a better, you know, Batman, write a better Superman. All that groundwork was there. And now it's like this 10-year plan to restart and get better continuity. We probably won't see any of these films for 3 years at the very earliest. And it's very confusing and very hectic too, because the announcements that you're making are, I feel, not transparent enough and too transparent at the same time. Like, you're telling us you're going to recast a younger actor and do like the Daily Planet years and stuff like that, when you could, you know, we want to, like, you ramped up towards a big dark side fight, and now we're going to go backwards to, you know, oh golly gee, Lois, and that's great if he can do both, but we don't want a reset. We want to see more of that, because that's what people loved in the, you know, the Snyder Cut version. And then you're like, James is on Twitter like nonstop answering, I feel like, too many fans. And why are you writing this new Superman? Like, Feige isn't writing these movies. You know how long it would take for MCU to be what it was if Feige was writing and directing the movies as he goes? You should be orchestrating. You should be playing quarterback. You know, not even quarterback. You should be playing a coach, delegating. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like there's a plan even now. So I think that's also what's frustrating, because we've seen a lot of years go by with no plan, and say, all right, 10 years of this shit didn't work. So give us another 10 years and we'll try again, guys. Hang in there. It's really hard, because it's almost like, man, we'd rather like, at least we're getting something with the way things are going now. Now we don't know how long it's going to be before we get anything else. And it might suck too. I mean, if he thinks that the backlash is bad now, wait till they cast the next Superman.
That was my point, is the simple fact that right now we're in a situation where, as casting and recasting these actors, you're setting up the brand. Like, so these actors that you put in their place, those are big shoes to fill, because pretty much we've had almost 10 years of seeing, you know, Cavill or Wonder Woman in, you know, in Ben Affleck, you know, playing these characters or portraying these characters. Like, you're bringing Ben back. We don't know. I don't know the destiny of Gal Gadot right now. We don't know what she's doing and what she's going to be going through, or what she's going to end up, you know, doing, and you know, how her character is going to evolve, or if she's going to even portray the character going forward. We have no idea. They're not saying anything. She's not saying anything. It's just completely dark right now in that spectrum. We know Cavill's gone. Whoever you
ironically, the only person who still got a job is Ezra Miller.
That's because they have to put that movie out. After that movie's gone, it's released. The slate's clean. They have no ties with him anymore. But my point is,
it's just funny.
You're bringing in actors because, and here's the thing. Okay, so this is the point of it that I understand. You're bringing in actors because, again, you're looking at Henry Cavill, who's like, what, 34 right now? Is he 34 or 39? Or he's older or something like that. He's not 39, but he's like 34, 30, whatever. I don't know. Mid-30s. So they're looking for longevity. They're looking for characters. They're looking at a 10-year, 12-year plan.
Yeah, he's 39.
Whereas they don't want these actors to get old. So I get that point. I understand, because if you have a plan, and this is why I'm waiting until next month. I'm waiting until next month, because next month is when he's supposed to reveal the direction that he's taking.
Right. He said January 23, they're going to lay out their 10-year plan.
They're going to lay out their 10-year plan, and
or
and
the
we'll
beginnings of their 10-year plan at least.
Yeah, the beginnings. Right. So so Tobar 39. He's 39. Henry Cavill's 39 years old. He's going to be 40. So again, this is where I understand that if they're looking long term,
right,
they want a character who's going to play that role, and they want that character to develop into this or the Superman that we know. From younger years to mid-year crisis or whatever. They want that development with these characters. They want to expand these characters. They want longevity. I get that. My point is, and this is where I'm kind of conflicted, is because the fact of the matter is, if you want that and you knew that was your plan, because I'm pretty sure Zaslav sat down with James Gunn and Safran and said, look, beforehand, I want you to come up with a 10-year plan, but just give me something now. Should we have Cavill here or should we not? Do you see him in your foreseeable future when it comes to these ideas? Now, again, they let him come out and say what he said just to say, you know what? Nah, we don't want you now. It should have been, I think there should have been better press on that. We shouldn't, I don't want to hear that from Hollywood Trades. I want to hear a press. I want to hear some type of press from DC Studios itself. Wait until you have all your ducks in a row to make that announcement and say, okay, this is our 10-year plan, but our 10-year plan does not include this person, that person, whatever.
This. Right.
We thank you for your service, everything that you've done with us. Hopefully we'll be able to work with you in the near future, but the 10-year plan goes here. We've already sat down with these actors. We had the conversation. Even, let Cavill have, a video or a small little video explaining the conversation, or just be like, look, we've sat
thanking the fans, whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Thank the fans, whatever. But they have a dream. They know where they want to go with it. This wasn't part of the plan, but I wish them luck. Same thing for everybody else. Press, it would have basically been a bit better than how it is right now. I don't want to hear you. Come on, James, bro. Getting on Twitter, getting on Instagram, answering fans, it's a little bit too much.
Well, and then he had a big, long thing today talking about the fans being too critical and toxic or whatever he did. And I feel like, one, you have so much to do. Why are you interacting with every fan that has something bullshit to say? Like, why is that in your radar? Like, why are you giving that weight? And two, he had no problem with the fans being passionate and hating on the studio when he was in trouble and they wanted him to be uncanceled and come back to work for Disney. That was when it was okay because the fans were shitting on the suits, but now he's a suit. So
and he's upset.
That's part of being a suit is you're going to get the accolades, you're going to get the hate. Because when the next thing he does comes out and when Guardians 3 comes out and it's hot, everybody's gonna be like, "Yay, James Gunn," and that's gonna be fine. But when you fire, Henry Cavill, or you make a shitty replacement for, or you make a bad decision that people don't like, that's your job to catch flack for that too. You can't expect fans to be passionate only in positive ways because it's a double-sided coin. Because if fans didn't care if you fired Cavill, they didn't care if they
wouldn't say anything.
Then your movies wouldn't make money if we were apathetic. You want fans to be passionate, as long as obviously no one's like making death threats and all that bullshit. Obviously, we're on the same page that shit is uncalled for and ridiculous, and going after people personally. Of course, that's all bullshit. But every single person out there saying, "Yo, this sucks," blah 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 blah. Those are fans who are, care about fucking flying characters in the sky enough to go spend enough money to give you billions of dollars in mansions and Rolls Royces
to manage them the right way.
Who are passionate about the decisions that you make.
Right.
Deserve to be mad. They deserve to be happy. You can't expect them to just bootlick everything that you do, because if that was the case, you maybe would have never came back, because Disney seen how upset fans were when they canceled Jazz, and everybody rallied and was like, "No, bring James back. We loved him." Now, if they didn't bitch then, you might not have got your job back.
You wouldn't have had no job. Right.
Let people bitch in constructive ways, because that also lets people know what the fans want, what works, what doesn't work. And, it's not always bad. And obviously people take it too far, but there's also constructive criticism, and it lets them know that, look, people just want to see the DC movies be taken seriously and work and be fun and be awesome like what they're doing over at Disney. And there's like embarrassment of riches with projects over at Disney, and fans like us who are fans of both want to see that shit from DC too. Like, it's ridiculous that we've gone so long and we still feel like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're throwing shit at the walls and seeing sticks. And this is a company that didn't have to fight for their properties back. They didn't have to fight for the rights to their characters back. They've had them the whole time.
The whole time.
They have no idea what to do with them, what they want to do. And it's like so many chefs in the kitchen. I feel like this Gunn and Safran decision to have them as co-heads is a step in the right direction, because it's at least, hey, here's two guys, and this is your job to figure this out, as opposed to WB, who just looks at it as like, here's something else that we have that we do. So there's definitely in the right direction. And I feel like there's absolutely potential that down the line they can figure this shit out and have, a universe where we get Batman movies and Green Lantern movies and Wonder Woman and Superman. And we don't have to wonder why the first movie is Superman and the next movie is Suicide Squad. Like, have it make sense more. Like, worry about your big eyes and then branch out, and I feel like there's potential there for them to fix that. But you're talking about a plan where shit isn't going to happen for years in a TikTok world where everything happens in 15 seconds.
In 15 seconds.
You can't expect people to just sit on their hands and say, "Oh, I'm sure they got this." That works for Feige because we have, he's earned trust. But you can't expect that trust at all. You have to earn it. You have to deal with fans bitching until you put out something where shut them up. If you don't want fans to bitch about how fucked up everything is, shut them up. You can't expect them to shut up and give you the benefit of the doubt. You got to earn that.
Exactly.
He did put out a statement. He put out a statement today that said that they expected fans. He expected the backlash, but that's not basically deterring them for their goal, which I have a level of respect for you when you say that. Right. It's not going to deter you from your goal of making successful films, making sure that the writing is there, making sure that the fans are satisfied and you're giving the fans what they want. As long as you give me that, I don't care who plays X role, this role, whatever, as long as the focus is on making sure it's a good story. That's where I'm at.
My question, right? Cavill's gone, Godot is questionable, Affleck's gone unless he directs something, right? We still got Suicide Squad and Peacemaker in this world.
The only thing he's touched on that was, and there's also rumors out there that nothing will happen to Suicide Squad. Those are not, those are unfounded. Which isn't to say that it is or isn't. It's like kind of like a non-answer answer, but he addressed it in a way that was just as vague as it was before. I mean,
I think that's
it's kind of hard to say.
It's like
oh, Peacemaker's a different thing when you literally had the Justice League.
Right. They were in it. So it's like you want to reboot everything, right? But you're going to keep your two properties. That's assholeish to me.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like,
is it going to change at the Flashpoint?
We don't.
Maybe. I don't know.
This is my point. The reason why I say this, though, Jay, is like I can say after saying everything that I've said, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Because the thing is, we haven't seen anything else to make a judgment call. We haven't. We're only making a judgment call because it's a knee-jerk reaction off of the simple fact that people that, not to say that we had attachment to these individuals, but it was people that we enjoyed what they brought
in the roles. Yeah.
But even the finest actor will tell you it's not about me. It's about the character. Character is the most important person in the story. That character, it's not about the person behind the character, because it's the character and how well you play that character and bring that character to life. I always say this, like, Christopher Reeve, he did an incredible job as Superman. You know what I mean?
He made you believe.
An incredible job as Batman. You know what I mean? Like, we have individuals who have portrayed these characters well. That's what it's about. It's the character. And I'm not looking at the simple fact that there's an actor portraying. I want, and if the story's written well, if there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and if it's cohesive, then I'm with that. If James Gunn can say, look, this is what we plan on delivering, and you actually, and I'm asking you this, Jason, if James Gunn says, this is what we plan on delivering, and he actually delivers everything that he says he's going to do, how would you feel then?
I just, to be honest, big bro, I just don't know how to feel about it, man, because it's like I've been waiting for 10 and a half years for somebody to do something. We get Gun, and I'm trying to. The first day, you already know I was pissed off when I found out about it, and I was all in the chat. We was all talking about it, whatever. I've tried to think about it in the last couple of days, and like, okay, he wants to do a full reboot. Okay, so that means everything's starting over. No Peacemaker, no Suicide Squad. Batman's gone, Superman's gone, everything's gone. Okay, cool. If I see a decent story with a good writer, then maybe I'll come back. I'll watch it. Maybe. I just don't know how to feel about it. I just don't know. I'm numb right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of those fans that I enjoyed their portrayal of those characters. Gail Gadot was the most, since Linda Carter, Gail Gadot was one of the most bombest Wonder Woman that I've seen since Linda Carter. She made you believe she was Wonder Woman to me. Wonder Woman 84, it stunk. We all know it stunk. Wonder Woman 84 was bad. The first one was awesome. Seeing her in BVS was amazing. Seeing her in the Snyder version of Justice League, her let loose and fighting was dope. You know what I'm saying? Cavill and Batman, I think, were flawless Cavill and Affleck were flawless in their roles of Batman, Superman. To me, as a comic book fan of DC since I was a kid, I love Marvel. Later on, I got into Marvel in my early teens, but DC has always been my thing. So 10 years I've been riding with them. For 10 years, I want something good. I love Man of Steel, I love BVS, and I love Snyder's Cut of Justice League. That's my three favorites. Aquaman is alright. But it's like, I want something that they put out that not only I love, but everybody can say, you know what, that's a good film. They haven't been able to do that. And I think.
Do you think, though, and here's my point.
Mm-hmm.
Because, in my opinion,
mm-hmm.
if they don't do the reboot, if they didn't do a reboot, if they didn't start fresh,
mm-hmm.
and if you look at the stories now, if you look at, like, as you said, you like Man of Steel, BVS, Justice
mm-hmm.
League, we have films out there, Aquaman, we have these films that are basically running, Shazam, Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was, it's trying to tell a story and clean up after a mess that was made because nothing was cohesive. And the reason being is because certain people weren't allowed to tell the stories that they wanted to tell. But if that can be done now, if it's one of those situations where they can say, you know what, a full reboot, let's tell the stories and how they're supposed to be told. Let's start from ground zero. Let's start with Superman. Let's start with Superman as our main character.
The writing has to be good.
Writing is good.
And whoever plays him, whoever plays him has to make me believe in him like Cavill did. If it's somebody that's not going to take the role serious or not going to put their love into the role like he did, I don't even want to see it. And you could tell when an actor is feeling their role or when an actor wants to give their all to that character. You know what I'm saying? I got that vibe from Cavill. I got that vibe from Gadot, and I got that vibe from Affleck. Even when Affleck was going through his shit, with the drinking and stuff like that, that motherfucker got in the gym. He was busting his ass trying to get right for that Batman role. He definitely was. He had problems that was going on outside of the movie, and it affected him a little bit during the movie. But those three gave their all for those characters, bro. If they're not giving me that kind of vibe, I'm not gonna give him my dollar to go see it. You know what I'm saying? But if that writing is there, and I believe that they can pull that role off, I'll probably go see it.
Okay.
But if you're talking about a full reboot, I want everything going. If we're doing a full reboot of DC, everything gotta go.
Well, here's my
Suicide
thing.
Squad,
Why
Peacemaker, all that gotta go.
This is why I think that right now, though,
Shazam,
right
everything.
now, we have to wait. We have to wait. Because the thing is, nothing that we're saying right now at this very moment is going to change what's already been done. It's not going to change what happened. So we can be set, but it's not going to change. And that's why I've kind of put a lot of this on the back burner, because I want to hear, and it's not even about you telling me, because I want to see execution. But I just want to see where it's going to go. I want to see what your ideas are. I want to see what your 10-year plan looks like. You know what I mean? And then we can talk about, okay, casting direction. We could talk about who's playing what. I want to hear basically your direction first. And if it's going to make sense. Literally. Before you make an announcement about a Lobo, I want to hear what you're going to say about Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
That's what I want to hear you talk about first.
Exactly.
And then we can go forward. If the story, if it sounds good, that's one thing. If the story, if there's execution and the story matches up to everything that you're saying, then I'm all in. But I'm all in. Wait and see, because the thing is, if you deliver, then you're proving all the naysayers wrong, and we'll believe in you. But we have to see execution. But also, I think that starts from the heads, that starts from the executives, and how they pulled this off and how they did this in the very beginning. I thought, and I still think it's very messy.
It's damn sure messy.
It's really crazy. Very messy. They couldn't figure out a way to say, all right, this and this is going to be how we do things, and this and this is going to be what we're going to do next, and then tell us, as opposed to, oh, we find out from a Patty Jenkins social media thing of, oh, here's me responding to this rumor, and then here's somebody who was on a set saying that she pulled up Wikipedia, and then over here's Momoa's.
I want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Going to be Lobo now. So our movie that made $1 billion and was the most successful out of all these movies, ironically,
it's over.
He's going to be gone, and we're going to be making him somebody who only comic book fans have ever heard of. I want to see Lobo, but and then over here, Henry, you coming back? You're going to be in Black Adam, and then that movie didn't make as much as it said it was.
So you know what?
Even though it was dope, but
yeah.
All right, so then now he's going. Why are we? It's like following somebody's breakup on Facebook instead of like waiting to you get to talk to them. And I don't want to hear he said she said from $1 billion movie studio when there's this much riding on the lines. I feel like we shouldn't be hearing rumors in this might happen, that might happen every day. And it's like, I don't know, it's very frustrating that this is how we're getting news on the situation, because it's really hard to not be frustrated when you're getting half stories, half truths, half rumors. And then you have James come out and say, I'm hearing all the stories that's going on.
I don't care.
True. One of the things isn't true. One of the things you haven't even heard yet. So you guys sit tight. It's like, yo, I mean, I get it. They don't know what they're doing yet, so it's really hard for them to come out and say everything yet, because honestly, there's stuff they probably can't speak on yet, because for whatever. Okay, so hypothetically, what if they decided to recast Superman, recast Batman, but they really fucking love Godot and they want to keep her, so they can't come out and say we're watching everything out, because they might have decisions like that are still in flux, that they haven't made up their mind about. Like they're literally like. You know, like how Feige went away and like said, here, we're going to go away to a camp and figure out our 10-year plan. What did you hear from that camp? Not a fucking thing.
Not a fucking thing, bro.
That's how it should be done. Nothing. You didn't hear nothing until it was on the slate and on the schedule and they had a movie date. That's what you hear about a Marvel movie. When it has a date, as a production team, as an actor, like the whole fucking nine.
Dude.
But with DC, I'm hearing like when Patty Jenkins like takes a shit. I don't need to know every little fucking
rumor
mill shit. Like, why aren't you just telling us facts? It's really weird.
that's the messy part that I'm talking about, is the simple fact that we're hearing these things on social media. There is no press. There's no a publicist that should be speaking for you or should be out there putting.
They're not doing nothing like that, bro. That's crazy.
Why is James Gunn answering every single fan on Twitter?
On Twitter,
why is James Gunn talking to every fan on Twitter individually instead of working?
Yeah. And he's getting mad with them too. Like he's barking back and forth with them or whatever. But then, you know what's crazy
too,
Why are you
calling fans who are upset about the direction nerds should live in their parents' basement? Do you see Feige doing that messy shit?
Like that's foul, bro. Like these people are paying to come see your movies. Are you kidding me?
It's petty and above you. It's below you. Like you should be, because there's obviously immature fans who are going to handle all this shit in a shitty way. It's not your job to address them. It's your job to that's not necessary. It doesn't do
reassurance to be his job.
It doesn't do anyone any good.
Right.
It doesn't help.
So
and it's like, bro, like to fire a cat that even when after Man of Steel 2, I guess wasn't happening. This dude was still wearing Superman t-shirts. His name is freaking dog Crypto. Like you can't tell me the dude was not like in love with the character that he was doing.
But I get that though, Jay. But here's the thing, bro. Like, the way I'm looking at this though, bro, and I'm looking at this from I'm looking at this from all angles.
You're looking at it from the outside.
I know what you're looking at it from, because
from the outside.
10 years from now, we could be like, thank God they blew it up and started over.
Exactly.
And listen, look, bro, if that's the case,
because I'm looking at it.
If that's the case, I'll apologize for how I feel.
Here's the thing, and I'm glad you said that.
I'm a man of the minute I'm wrong.
The problem is this. Because of everything that's happening right now, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to suffer. It's going to suffer because you're going to have disgruntled fans. Again, they're already talking about review bombing that film. That's not fair to those actors that got out there and portrayed these roles that have actually they're putting their careers on the line to make a successful film. It's not fair to them that if you're disgruntled at one individual, that you go out and review bomb a film, and a success of that film, it basically relies on word of mouth. It relies on, how good it is, how well it does in the box office. These are all factors. But if you go out and the thing is, it's like, I don't want to see that happen. I'm trying to basically, for me, I just want to see a level of success. I want to see, for me, all I want is for you to tell me that you have direction, that you have a plan, and that plan is solid. If you tell me that plan is good and you execute, then I'm all in. I am all in. Because again, like I continue to say, I am not married to an actor. I'm married to a story. That's where my devotion is to a good story. Tell the story, have the actors in place. They're going to execute. They can play the part. They look the role, and they're willing to put in the work. And you're bringing out the best of them, and you're respecting the character. That's the thing. A level of respect to that character, the characters that we've all grown up with, that we've loved, and a respect to the narrative. And you're going to have to pull from, as much as, and I hate when people say this, well, we can't. No, you have to pull from source material, because that's what it's there for.
They've been ignoring it for years. I don't understand,
again, give me some of that. Give me some of that, bro. And you can't say that you won't do it. You can't do it, because you can. So the thing is, I am willing to give James Gunn, Safran, the benefit of the doubt that they can pull through and make something happen. But the only way that they can do that, James Gunn, if you're listening, you're not listening to my small ass channel, but sometimes you just got to learn to shut the fuck up and execute and not talk. You don't have to, don't respond to all this, because when you do it, you're responding to one fan, you have to respond to another one.
Exactly.
You do.
Exactly.
You have to respond to another one. So just please, just freeze and just
shut the fuck up and do your job.
Don't say anything. And the thing is, it's like, yo, who's your publicist? And on top of that, it's like, yo, Zaslav, if you're head of this company, like, you want to sit there and say, okay, cool. I hired you to do the work, not to talk. You made the decision. Don't say anything else. Just work. Let these people be mad, because it'll die down soon. But the more you talk, you're just inviting that. There's
no way that
bro, whoever the publicist is, or whoever doing that promotions, they need to be fired.
There's no way that the there's no way that the first film under their leadership takes place within the next 3 years, and we can't have 3 years of Gunn answering every fan who has something smart to say.
Right.
Yeah.
You got too much work to do.
Yeah.
Right.
That should be somebody else's job. There should be a
Not
team to handle that shit.
Yeah.
He's answering that shit right off the random, right? Answering them all Instagram, he's answering them on Twitter. I'm like, God damn, like when you gonna write a story if you're answering fans all the time? Like, I don't know. I'm upset, I'm angry, but I'm not on his Twitter page trying to talk to him. I'm just pissed off about what's going on. But like I said, it is what it is. I mean, if the reboot is successful and if it's good stories like you were saying, I'll apologize. I'm man enough to say, look, I was wrong. But as of right now, this is how I feel.
Something to be said, like you can be just because what comes next might be dope doesn't mean that how things are going now you don't have any reason to be frustrated about. Because like the way they're handling this is all messy. There is decisions that don't make sense, and it's kind of like, well, there's things that we do like about what we have now that they're getting rid of. And we have to trust them when DC obviously has shown that they haven't earned that trust because they have, because on one hand you have, stuff that is really, really horrible filmmaking, and other hand you have stuff that's incredible, and you never know what's what. And some of their best stuff is stuff that isn't even supposed to be in that world. Like, your best, like maybe your best film is Joker, and that's not even in the DCEU. So it's really tough to say, oh, I'm sure whatever they come up with next will be like fire. So this is like great news. It's and it might be
because they haven't made you believe.
Trust me,
they haven't made you believe in them for years, dog.
I'm such a huge DC fan. I've wanted to have both of these studios making fire shit for us because I mean, there's people who shit on DC because they're Marvel stands and they just want to see the other team lose. And that's always been foolish to me. I want to see. I complain about DC because I know how much better it could be.
Yes,
because I want them.
That's
to follow
my reasons.
The Marvel formula. Shit, follow your animated series formula. Your animated films, like do what they're doing. Shit.
Yeah. How was it that all the animated movies are better than everything they had ever put out in the theater except for Man of Steel?
Because they
How is that?
Because they leave them alone and just let them make it.
Let them use the source material, man, and make a movie.
Well, listen, again, because we definitely hit that 2-hour mark. Great discussion tonight. Everybody.
No doubt.
All I'm saying is, like I said, I'm just willing to see what's going to happen next. Next month, all will be revealed. But I hope after that, they just get to work, plain and simple.
Yeah, no doubt.
Can't cry over spilled milk any longer. I wish them well. I hope everything basically happens. Gunn, I wish you much success. Zafran, he hasn't said shit because he knows James Gunn.
He ain't saying nothing.
But
he don't say nothing.
Yeah, it's just like, we just want to see success going forward. But everybody out there, great discussion. So glad you were here with us this evening. Vinny, what you got coming up, bro?
Shit, man. Just getting ready for St. Nick, man, just gearing up for that. Looking forward to, spending time with family this weekend and just working on some new art pieces. Have some Christmas commissions. So if there's any last minute stuff you guys or anyone out there watching needs for your family, just hit up the website. My site has plenty of stuff, all kinds of different genres that might be of interest to you, and I'll definitely hook you up. And other than that, man, just looking forward to taking it easy this week and just getting up for Christmas.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Jedi Pimp, man. And everybody, if you haven't already followed Vinny on Vision Done Art Instagram and the store, and some information is there as well. Make sure you do so. Jedi Pimp, what's going on, man? What you got coming up?
Same thing, man. Christmas break is coming. I cannot wait to enjoy, spend time with the family, and I can't wait to cook. I'm cooking a big dinner this year. It's gonna be fun for the kids. I just want to just relax, man. Enjoy this holiday, going to New Year's. I'll be 47 next month, so I'm trying to just chill, bro.
Yeah,
enjoy these last few days of the year, man, and just relax.
Hell yeah, bro.
It's Christmas time. Christmas time. I love this time of year, bro.
Everybody have a good time. Thanks everybody out there for actually coming on board. What we got next tomorrow is nothing. Comic book talk with friend. No. Say What Wednesday. Uncivilized Scoundrel was on Thursday. Figure Flex Friday on Friday, of course, the Collectors Lounge, possibly a Christmas show. I don't know yet, but I'll let you.
Last Friday it was canceled. Figure Flex.
Yeah, because I had to take Toyo out to we had to go see
Avatar.
Yeah, she loved
that's right.
That's right. Anyway, yeah, thank you. If you haven't already subscribed to the 16 Scale Man YouTube channel and Twitter, Instagram, make sure you do so. Next week, I promise you there won't be any technical difficulties. Everything's going to be fixed. But anyway, thank you for rocking with us tonight while we had these technical difficulties and just hanging on board and just being a part.
Appreciate y'all.
So happy holidays, everybody. Enjoy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Definitely, man. We will talk to y'all later. Peace out. Have a good night, good evening, all day. Let's go.